Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Today we're looking at JD Martinez and how he uses technology to help himself be a better hitter. So I'm going to play the video right now so you can check that out, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit about it.
They call JD a hitting machine, and JD was telling me yesterday that every batting practice he takes, he has videotape.
Right.
And he said, look, I'm not a feel hitter. I don't want to feel what hitting feels like. I need a backup. I need evidence. And that's why he does video of every batting practice that he takes, and he's done this for 4 years. And as soon as BP is over, he goes back and looks at it. Eddie, I've never heard anybody who does something like this to the extent that he does.
Yeah, he takes it to another level, and he's using the technology to his advantage. Some people might think paralysis by analysis. Well, for JD Martinez, he takes complete advantage of it.
Okay, so pretty cool segment here on Martinez that was shown on ESPN. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. I'm, with our players, and thinking back to when I was a player, I really like to use technology, not to the degree that JD does, but I think now as we kind of push forward and technology becomes better and better, more and more players are using it to help them understand their swing, make adjustments. And so here's a couple things I'll say. The first thing is, what I always say is feel. He talked a little bit about feel, right? And I always say that feel and real are never the same. So you may feel like you're doing something in the swing, and you may not be doing it at all. There's so many players that I work with that say, I feel like I'm doing this, or I feel like I'm doing that. And then we videotape them, and I show them, and they look at the video and they say, wow, I'm not doing anything close to what I feel like I'm doing. So I think it's really important as a hitter to really understand exactly what it is you're doing so that you can continue to do it, or you can make adjustments and do something different. It's really, really important to be your own best hitting coach. It's what I say to players all the time. You want to understand your swing and what you're doing, what you're trying to do and what you're doing, so you can be your own best hitting coach. If you don't understand what you're doing or what you're trying to do, it's really difficult to improve. If you're not going well, it's difficult to, whether it's get out of a slump or, if you're not hitting well, to start hitting well, right? So that's one thing. But also, if you are hitting well, you want to understand what you're doing, because at some point you're not going to hit well. And if you don't know what you were doing when things were going well for you, how are you ever going to get back to that? So that's one of the really big things. It's not just about when things aren't going well, what are you doing? But when things are going well, what are you doing? And during my career, there were parts of my career where I obviously was having really, really good success. And then there were other parts of my career where I couldn't hit to save my life. And when I finally got to the point where I couldn't hit, I didn't know what to do to get back to being a good hitter. Okay, I had no clue what I did well. If I had videotape at that time, if I could go back and look and say, oh, I understand what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing when I'm going well. This is what helped me be successful. Well, then I could get back to that probably much easier than what happened. I had no idea what I was doing, and it was difficult. And back then there was less videotape going on. We didn't have iPads and all the stuff that they have now, so it made it a little bit more difficult. But in today's game, there's really no excuse. There's so much technology. Like JD Martinez says there, he videotapes himself every single session, which is crazy. Again, you don't have to videotape yourself every single hitting session, but what we do with our players, I typically do, when I'm doing a lesson or working with players, we'll try to at least take a couple of swings on video so we have an idea of the progression the player's making. And then, again, if we have to go back to look at stuff, when players were doing well, let's go back, let's check and see what you're doing well. If the player's not doing well, now we can check it right now and say, okay, this is what's happening right here. This is what you feel like is happening. This is what's actually happening, and let's try to do this differently or do that differently. So really good idea. If you're not videotaping yourself right now, I suggest that that you do. Take advantage of the technology. Become your own best hitting coach, because you don't want to rely on somebody else to always help you, because they're not always going to be around. It's your swing. Take ownership of your swing, and believe me, you'll be able to make adjustments much quicker if you know what's going on, and instead of just asking somebody else all the time, hey, can you help me? Can you fix me? Well, what am I doing? If you can understand it for your career, that's the best thing possible as you move up through the levels. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Share with all your friends. Check the description box below. We've got a bunch of stuff down there for you guys to check out. We got a deal going on with Plate Crate. We've got a link to our Patreon page where you can support the channel. We've got a bunch of other stuff down in the description box that we're recommending for you guys. And that's all I got. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.